Welcome back. New signings Jonjo Shelvey and Henri Saivet being introduced, along with the hope that always accompanies a new face or two at a football club. But you can hardly sugarcoat that it's not a vintage period for both of these teams. After 20 Premier League games, neither side have had a points return as low as this. Yet 20 years ago, they met with a title on the line. That evening, Pavel Srnicek was in goal for the hosts, and tonight, his club comes together to remember him. Robbie Savage, Glenn Hoddle and Ian Darker with you for this one. Evening, guys.
Good evening, Jake. A fixture which in the past, as you say, has been drenched in drama, but these are different days. Newcastle fans needing points to escape the drop zone. Manchester United supporters just want their team to start performing with a bit of flair and flamboyance after the frankly dreadful performance at the weekend against Sheffield United, albeit it was one which ended with a Wayne Rooney penalty winner in the 93rd minute. Manchester United are only 3 points outside the top four, despite all their traumas this season, but they are 9 points off the lead in the Premier League at this stage. Newcastle have been playing a bit better lately, but that hasn't showed in the scorelines. Rather alarmingly for them, they've lost their last 4 games by the same scoreline, 1-0, very frustratingly. Now, Louis van Gaal has really had to face the music in recent days, and he's got this away game and another one against Liverpool coming up, Glenn.
Yeah, massive games for them any time in the league, but the pressure they're under. But you know, they've got to think about tonight. If they go into that game with a win under their belt, they'll be much more confident. But that's always a treasured fixture in the Premier League, isn't it?
Wayne Rooney, who's only scored 3 goals in the Premier League so far, which is way down on his usual excellent return.
Okay, guys, let's go. Come on, boys, come on. Let's go.
So the team's on their way for what is a very famous fixture. Two clubs desperately in need of a good result here tonight. Both of them looking to change the mood music in this big game. Newcastle against Manchester United. It's coming up next.
There is no continent existing where I have not witnessed a ball being kicked, hit, caught or thrown. It's like I'm standing right there on the sidelines, watching.
I am a member
of the world's favorite
online sports betting company.
And I gamble responsibly at Bet365.
Here's the team news tonight. Newcastle have their captain Fabrizio Colaccini fit despite a knock which forced him off at half-time in the cup tie at Watford. Jack Colback returns in midfield in the only change, but soon he's going to face fierce competition for his place from new signings Jonjo Shelvey and Henri Saivet, both of whom will be watching tonight's action. As for Manchester United, well, they drop Juan Mata from their Premier League lineup for the first time this season, and Bastian Schweinsteiger is out with a knee injury. Jesse Lingard is included tonight, and Ashley Young and Morgan Schneiderlin, both rested on Saturday, return here with Matteo Darmian switching to left back. Keeper David De Gea plays his 200th Manchester United game, and youngster James Weir makes the bench for the first time.
Yeah, we see the home team here, how they shape up. We think Perez will play out there on the left-hand side, but for me it's the service from possibly the left-hand side to Mitrovic is the key for them tonight. I think if Mitrovic can get himself up against Daley Blind, I think that's going to be a real mismatch, and I think he's going to dominate him. United, for me, Fellaini. Is he going to play in a position? We've got him there in a 2 deep, but I'd like to see him a little bit closer to Rooney and hitting the box more. So it'd be interesting to see where they play him tonight.
Morgan Schneiderlin is back for Manchester United tonight. They've only lost 1 of 18 games he's played since signing, which suggests he may be an important figure in that midfield. We'll find out, won't we? Newcastle have Alex Mitrovic. They bought him to score goals. He's only got 1 at St James's Park so far. Well, before we kick off tonight, Newcastle fans will pay tribute to their popular and much-loved former goalkeeper, Pavel Srnicek, who died at the tragically young age of 47 a fortnight ago. The applause for him will be both heartfelt and emotional.
Pavel loved the club and the city, and the phrase "Pavel is a Geordie" could not have been more appropriate for a man who, apart from being a top-class international goalkeeper, was a true gentleman. The thoughts of everyone at Newcastle United are with Pavel's family at this sad time. But we celebrate his memory today and ask you to join in a minute's applause, which will begin on the referee's whistle.
Pavel Srnicek, who made 190 appearances in 2 spells for Newcastle, an adopted Geordie. And the fans didn't wait for the PA announcer to invite them to start clapping. They did it before that. It's a very, very sad loss indeed. I saw a shot there of his brother Milan during that applause. Steve McLaren, of course, was Sir Alex Ferguson's number 2 in the year that they did the treble in 1999, stayed for a couple of years, and he does have 5 wins over Manchester United going back to his Middlesbrough days. Newcastle need the 3 points here. They're in the bottom 3. They can escape it, at least tonight, with a victory, but only with a victory. Can Manchester United come up with an improved performance after the, well, fierce criticism of the way they've been playing just lately?
First and foremost, Martial comes over this right-hand side, usually plays that left-hand side. Lingard's over there, a lot of pace for United down here on the right. Ashley Young at right back and Martial on the right.
Here's Colaccini, who was past fit this morning, having gone off at the weekend at half-time. He was a big doubt. Here's Mbemba. Sissoko looking to turn. He'll be an important player, but Newcastle do need to start getting some goals from their midfield players other than Wijnaldum, who's got 7. The rest of them, well, they haven't scored in the Premier League yet.
Yes, a little foul by Fellaini. Listen to Rio Ferdinand before the game saying Sissoko could be a huge threat. The power from midfield, you know, I totally agree with it.
Blind to cut it out for Manchester United, who've only lost 1 of their last 12 visits to this ground. Visits that have included wins by 6-2, 5-1, 4-0, 4-1 and 3-0. Janmaat looking to come up with something with Sissoko down this right-hand side.
Good positive start from Newcastle. Sissoko winning a free kick, now winning the corner. Good positive start from the home side.
Now, what they would give for an early goal to shake Manchester United's maybe currently fragile confidence. It was too long for Mbemba in there. Is Chiote back in favour now at Newcastle in central midfield in recent games?
Good closing from United there. They've lost the corner, the first header, but they've cleared the ball and they've really pressed Newcastle back from that corner.
Whatever Manchester United's other problems this season, they do have, on paper, the 2nd best defence in the Premier League behind Tottenham at the moment. Mbemba's pass wasn't accurate enough and was cut out by Jesse Lingard, who is being deployed on the left-hand side to start with. Martial on the right. He's usually out on the left, so that's a little tweak by Louis van Gaal.
What I think Martial look to do is he'll look to, you know, get on the outside of Dummett and put cross into the box. you know, before the game was highlighted, United don't get many players into the area. You know, if he's going to do that, you know, he's in a right back position at the minute, Martial. He's a centre forward. Is he their top goal scorer? He's in a right back position 5 minutes in. Get him up front.
It's also interesting for Newcastle because Perez is playing out this side in a similar shape to them, so they're both offensive-minded players. Are they going to actually track back and do the defensive side for their teams?
Jan Mata's been in pretty good form. Now Tiote. Jan Mata again with Colback making a run round his outside. It turned out to be a decoy run. Recently at Arsenal, Newcastle were only beaten 1-0. A bit unluckily, they had 49% possession in that game, and not many visitors to the Emirates managed that.
And they created as well, Liam. That was the key. You can have possession, but they created a lot of chances. It's just their finishing. If their finishing was better, they'd have been right up that league by now. But that can turn round. If you keep creating and believing in yourself, that can turn as soon as you get a couple of goals.
They've only got 19 in 20 games so far, and 6 of those were in one match against Norwich. If they don't start improving in that department, it would look quite bleak for them. It's Chris Smalling for Manchester United.
Just look here now. You know, where's the centre midfielder for United who wants to get on the ball, who wants to dictate play? You know, you've got Sneijder and Fellaini in there, not going to put a great pass. They're just there to protect, you know, the two centre halves. You want to see somebody start to get on the ball, spray passes, runners from midfield, runners from wide. You know, it's such a disciplined United team.
There's no red shirts moving off the ball. Showing for the ball, Rob. There's no movement whatsoever. When the back players have got it, you've got to have rotation in midfield, and then you make space for that man in the pocket.
Colaccini through the eye of a needle in midfield. Ayosi Perez looked to be fouled by Fellaini. That's what the referee, Mike Dean, thought as well.
At 2 occasions in a defensive midfield position, he's the wrong side. You know, his instinct is not as a defensive midfielder. He's one of the best in the league of putting the ball down in his chest in the opposition's final third. He's not in this team to be a holding midfielder, to, you know, to win challenges. If you're using Fellaini, you have to use him in a forward area, like Glenn said before the game.
Perez has been one of Newcastle's better signings of recent times. He only cost $1.5 million from Tenerife. Fellaini did some good work there defensively. Martial crowded out.
Yeah, I think Mike Dean was trying to play on there. He saw that Rooney got a heavy tackle from behind there, but he tried to play on, I believe. Here it is, the ball now. It comes out, gets poked through there, and Wayne just gets a little bit of a clout after the ball's gone, but the ball went out, so he saw no advantage.
These two sides drew 0-0 at Old Trafford earlier on in the season. Steve McLaren was happy enough with that at that early stage. 79% possession for Newcastle early. Here's Mitrovic. Easily hustled out of it by Blint. Here's Ashley Young playing at right back again. I don't think he's ever played full-back as much in his career as he has this year.
Yeah, good play from Daley Blind there. He'd be happy going to nick the ball on the halfway line. What he won't want is runners from midfield, making him turn, spin back towards his own goal. Good play from Daley Blind.
Martial was strong there. Herrera. Young thought about a first-time cross. The second one wasn't a bad one at all, was it? And it was well defended by Newcastle, with Sissoko getting back and winning the header. This is Manchester United's first real foray forward. Darmian. He's turning up everywhere. Matteo Darmian, officially the left back, but he seems to have a bit of a roving commission from there.
Yeah, he's ended up on the right-hand side, hasn't he? I don't know if that was from it wasn't from a set play. from earlier, but it was a wonderful cross from Ashley Young. It was a fabulous cross, and you've got to get... That's the ball that if Fellaini's in and around the edge of the box, making runs in there, that's exactly the ball that he feeds off.
Blint with the delivery here from the corner kick. Goes along, and there is Fellaini. Didn't win that header. Maybe crucially, he'd been favourite, wouldn't he? And he's given a penalty kick here. Mike Dean's given a penalty. Well, well, well.
I don't think it's for handball. I think it's for holding. You know, I don't think it's handball. I think he's giving it for Mbemba. But it's handball, Mbemba there. Very, very harsh for me, that, Glenn. Yeah. I don't think that's a penalty. He's not looking at the ball. It's not deliberate. I think that is not a penalty.
Wayne Rooney is going to take it. Scored the winner against Sheffield United in the Cup, hitting the ball to the goalkeeper's right at the weekend. And goes the other side to put Manchester United ahead. Controversial penalty. Manchester United don't care. They have their noses in front.
I agree with Rob. Very, very, very soft penalty. For me, that's not a penalty. But that's nothing to do with Wayne Rooney. He scored one late on against Sheffield at the week in the FA Cup. This time he's chosen to go the other way. Opened his body up, and Elliott goes the wrong way. But for me, no penalty, and a little bit of a good fortune for United.
Well, let's check this again. Is that deliberate handball by Mbemba?
Not a chance. That is never, ever a penalty. Mbemba's not even looking at the ball. Fellaini's headed it onto his arm. Never a penalty.
Let's hear from Howard Webb on that.
Yeah, Ian, Mike Dean's in a great position with a good view. He can clearly see that the arm is extended away from the body. That's the reason he's giving it, I think, because he feels the arm has blocked the header by Fellaini. The arm is not seen, as far as Mike Dean is concerned, in a natural position. I can actually support Mike Dean on that one. I totally understand why, from the angle he's got, you can see the arm away from the body, blocking the header, and even if Mbemba doesn't mean to head it, the actions are not natural, and therefore, for me, I can absolutely support that penalty award.
Thank you, Howard. It will be debated at length, there's no doubt about that, as it goes on. It's just the bad sort of break that Newcastle feel that they've been getting lately. They don't feel they've been getting the rub of the green, and they're going to have to chase this game now. Steve McLaren having a word with Bobby Madley, the fourth official. Of course, he gave a controversial penalty himself at the weekend for Tottenham in that FA Cup tie against Leicester.
But surely Mbemba's jumped there, his arms are in a natural position, and Fellaini's headed the ball from half a yard straight at his extended arm. So for me, it's a natural position. I disagree with Howard.
Well, will that goal lift Manchester United? It's a decent looking ball through from Herrera. Martial can't quite reach it. The young Frenchman who's been starting just about every game since they signed him from Monaco.
Good pace from Demet there, and a good sliding tackle. Great surface tonight for sliding tackles. But no, on the penalty, Rob, I think if you're facing the defender, the attacker, if you're facing Fellaini and you put your hand up there, then I can see a handball given. Yes, penalty. But he's got his back to him, and I just cannot see how that can be given as a handball.
Howard Webb's point is that the arm was up and blocked the passage of the header towards goal.
Yeah, but it wasn't deliberate. He's got his back to play. He's got his back to Fellaini, for me anyway, and it will be debated, I'm sure, for many an hour after the game.
I bet it will. Here's Young, another good-looking ball in from him. That's what he does bring to Manchester United when he is included, that ability. The wingers include. Colbeck caught in possession there. Newcastle were playing with fire.
Great pressing from United there. In Newcastle's final third, they sniffed the challenge. They all went in numbers. That's the thing.
Well, you'd think that might be the spark that could ignite Manchester United here. Let's see how they take the story on from here. Here's Ashley Young. He got the winner here last season in the 89th minute of the game. Herrera.
The only good thing for the home team is that it's come after sort of 10 minutes. We're into what, nearly 13 minutes now. There's plenty of time as a home team. They've got to believe that they can keep creating and come back in this game. And I'm sure the crowd will get behind them if they do get to 1-1.
Foul by Schneiderlin, and advantage played by Mike Dean. Definitely impeded Wijnaldum. No real advantage did accrue in the end.
The worry would be for Newcastle is they haven't scored for the last 4 games, you know, so this game could end up 1-0. So, you know, I slightly disagree whether it's the 10th minute, the 80th minute. You know, Newcastle haven't scored for 4 games, so that might be the winning goal. Who knows?
It's better than 5 to go, though.
It is.
Newcastle's last goal was scored by their captain Fabrizio Colaccini in a 1-1 draw here against Aston Villa in dreadful conditions back in December. Martial's control, good on the chest. Well watched by Dummett. Well, it's worth another look, isn't it, this big decision by Mike Dean.
You see Fellaini just pulling off. For me, I still say it's very, very harsh.
That's the point, really, isn't it? The arm is up.
Well, you'll hear us say it time and time again. It's impossible to jump with your arms down by your side.
It's an interesting. We've got 2 ex-players up here.
Listen,
who say no penalty, and we've got a World Cup final referee says it is.
Ian, it's one of them.
And Mike Dean as well, by the way, the guy down there.
The lads at half-time might think it's a penalty. You know, it's a game of opinions. I don't think it is. Glenn doesn't think it is. Scholesy, Jermaine and Real might think it's a penalty. It's one of them.
Yeah. Well, underlines that point, doesn't it, really, that that handball and definition of handball and what exactly is deliberate handball needs to be clarified once and for all by the international board. Here's Sissoko in towards Wijnaldum. You need him to be in the mood tonight, the Dutchman. Oof. It was an interception of sorts from Mbemba, not the most convincing.
But at least they had a runner from a wide area. Lingard prepared to run from outside to in. You know, gives the guy on the ball an option. At least they've got runners from midfield there, United. But it's the goals took the sting out of Newcastle. Was a really positive start. It silenced the crowd.
That run was a great run from Lingard, but you see Rooney's reaction. He's gone and filled in for him. He's gone on the left-hand side just to balance off the team. Great example by the captain.
He's wondering where the next win's coming from. Steve McLaren. Schneiderlin. Seems to be a bit of a lucky player for Manchester United. The only time they've lost with him in the team was away to Swansea back towards the beginning of the season.
There's a prime example there, what Paul Scholes was talking about before the game. Schneiderlin's got 30 yards of space and he's playing the ball square out to the left back. You've got to eat the ground up and commit to your opponents. Playing that square ball, all it does is your opponents get their shape back again.
All a bit untidy from Newcastle. Here's Wayne Rooney, who's now scored for 3 games in a row, albeit 2 of them have been penalties. Up to double figures for the season.
Yeah, Mitrovic wants balls into the box, he wants crosses. He's not going to run onto a ball, you know, with Smalling's pace. Smalling covers round Daley Blind. Glenn was speaking before the game. Newcastle need crosses into the box. Mitrovic to isolate himself against Blind. That's how he's going to score goals, not running away from Chris Smalling.
Room here for Ander Herrera. Now Anthony Martial. Just lost control of it at the key moment, didn't he, Martial? Rooney went to ground, and to be fair to him, got straight back up again. Wasn't asking for anything.
They're in a great little battle down there, aren't they? Dummett and Martial down here. He's faced up a few times, he's got turned, and he's running at the fullback, but the fullback's living with him at the moment. He's doing okay.
This is for Liam Sweeney and John Alder, the applause. The Newcastle fans who lost their lives in the air crash. Darmian. Remember Darmian giving England kittens in that England-Italy World Cup game when he was raiding from right back. He's a pretty versatile character, signed from Torino, which is where Manchester United got one Dennis Law from. Martial again from this right-hand side. Seems to be enjoying himself out on that side. They've usually used him towards the left, but he looks plenty effective enough on the right.
Yeah, it's even Stevens at the moment. He's gone by the Met a couple of times. The Met's made good tackles, and that's I think that's going to be a continuation right the way through the game.
Goal from Bournemouth, where the home side have taken the lead. Harry Arter, the midfield player, has got that, and Andy Carroll's been taken off injured for West Ham United. That is a bit of a recurring line, isn't it, for the luckless Carroll? Here is Dummett, who will be feeling Newcastle's plight a bit more than most, perhaps. He's a local boy. In fact, when he was out the team injured, I remember him sitting among the supporters at Hull. Colaccini to spread it out to Daro Janmat. Crosses deep. There's no one in a black and white striped shirt there at all.
Yes, poor service from Janmat. You know, done really well for Newcastle. Been their best player, you know, last season. I think he won the North East Player of the Year award. But he's got to do better service into the box there. That's what you want. Mitrovic was in a good position. He was ready to attack the ball just in front of Daly Bin, but it was overhit. When you get into these areas, you've been playing in front of Manchester United for the majority of the game so far. When you do get out wide, you've got to put good quality service into the box. We've seen what Mitrovic can do when the ball's in the air. Hit the bar at Old Trafford early in the season.
It's a nice touch from Martial to Herrera. It wasn't quite so good, and Wijnaldum got an important foot in for Newcastle. Can they build anything? Here's Jack Colback, fouled by Fellaini. Is Mike Dean going to deem that a yellow card?
Well, it's his third offence, so you would suggest that should be a yellow card.
This one he's tried to get out of the way, Rob, I think.
Yeah, but he's given a foul then.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a foul because he's unbalanced him. But his feet go together, look, and he thinks, hang on, I'm trying to stay out. He's not really made a tackle, is he?
Yeah, but Glenn, if he's made one, what you see with referees, they go 1, 2, 3. That's his third offence. He's pulled the shirt back twice and he's tripped up there, so that should be a booking.
I see your point. I know where you're coming from there, Rob. A lot of them do that, don't they? But for that tackle itself to be booked on that one, no, not for me.
I think you're more likely to get away with that early in the game than late, aren't you? Under the old game management that the referees, well, have to do, really.
We were at a game here earlier in the season when Arsenal come here, and you know, the referee wasn't. The Newcastle fans, you know, thought the referee on that occasion, Mitrovic was sent off, weren't very favourable to him, and you know, they'll be thinking that we might Dean tonight so far.
Here's Rooney. Newcastle losing possession again. Will they pay for that? Only Herrera was forward. Colaccini to cut it out. Newcastle in desperate need of a break at the moment. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got a big one. Liverpool against Arsenal from Anfield. BT Sport 1 at 7:15. That'll be followed by the Football's On at 10:15. Ian Stone presenting a very funny look at the week's football with guests Josh Widdicombe and Ian Moore. (1-0) to Manchester United, exactly the scoreline they achieved here in that massive top-of-the-table game here. 20 years ago, it was 20 years ago. Eric Cantona's winner, and of course Manchester United went on to take the title that year after Newcastle had threatened to run away with it. Many tears on Tyneside.
That's what they need to do, Newcastle. They've won it back. Colbeck really pressed quickly, and one possession they played forward into Mitrovic, and that allows Wijnaldum to make runs off him. Look, there's the ball in, but Wijnaldum was making runs in behind. We haven't seen him yet, and that's the beauty of him playing in the pocket, using his pace.
Colback to swing this in. It's aimed towards Mbemba, but Fellaini, whose aerial ability you feel will be just as important in defence as attack tonight, was the one who won it.
Yeah, it's two defensive headers already from Fellaini from set pieces. That's where he's good, defending set pieces in his own box, where it's a near post space in an area, marking somebody. You know, very good in a defensive position for Manchester United.
Louis van Gaal's been coming here a long time. 19 years ago with Barcelona, the day Tino Asprilla got that hat-trick for Newcastle in the Champions League. They won 3-2. He lost here with AZ Alkmaar as well. Won here last season. Here's Martial again. Once more up against Dummett. Young, good run from Herrera. Nice move by Manchester United. That's more like it.
There's a terrific run from Herrera that works it nicely, and running off the ball, he's got him behind, and that little touch from Oh, I tell you what, is he just caught his hand there? He's trying to say he's pulled it away, but Colaccini, without that touch, the ball, I'm sure, goes through to Fellaini. Fellaini got himself in the box there tremendously well. All on his own at the back post, and that little slight touch just diverted it away for the corner.
Blind to take it. Aimed towards Fellaini. Newcastle have not got it away, and it's Fellaini again. Blocked by a desperate Newcastle. Was there a hand in there? No, the decision's gone the other way. And there's a yellow card for Fellaini.
That's his fourth challenge, his fourth foul. That's why Mike Dean's booked him, but it's been a very, very bright 24 minutes from United. You know, the question is there a handball in this as well? You know, Fellaini, they went quick to get out and block him. I think it's Dummett with a block. I don't think that's handball at all. It's a very, very good block. He's got out there. No, he knows nothing about that. Correct decision from Mike Dean. Fellaini follows up with a foul.
I think he was on a final warning from that other one as well. So the next one was going to tip him over always. Rooney. Herrera, who's finding good space for Manchester United. This is a more enterprising attacking display. It must be said to be fair to Manchester United tonight.
Yeah, there's a bit of freedom, a bit of movement off the ball when the ball goes into Newcastle's half. They've got really good movement, particularly Herrera at the moment. He's making some terrific runs. Here he is again.
A lot of the threat coming down this right-hand side. No way through that time for Ashley Young. Perez it was who hacked it away, but really Newcastle haven't got into the game as an attacking force yet. You would imagine, apart from the signings they've made today, that Newcastle would be in the market for a striker as well. A lot of names being mentioned, including Charlie Austin. He seems to get mentioned and connected with almost everybody. Fellaini, important touch there. Lingard, Rooney, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Wayne Rooney, oh, it's an inch or two wide. That could have been two, maybe even should have been two.
You've got to say, I think it was a correct decision from Rob Elliott not to come. It looked like for a minute he was going to come and dive out of the ball. He stood his ground, and I think that just slightly put Rooney off. He's onside, it's a great run on his left foot. You know, the keeper's got the angle covered very, very well, but you'd think there, Rooney should score. You can see the keeper would have had it. I think the keeper done well, Glenn, not to come and commit himself there.
Yeah, he started to come, didn't he? And just held his ground. I think he stayed big, but I think Wayne will be disappointed he's not hit the target there. I think when you've got that amount of time, you've got to maybe think about doing something a bit different. Maybe, you know, outside of his foot, brings the ball back in. He had time to think that through, and he's just hit it across, and the ball is always going to go away from the post.
Down in to cut it out. John Joe Shelby, there he is, looking on sign from Swansea for £12 million today. That's the reported figure. He's rather lost his way at Swansea. Now then, Perez stands it one side. Wijnaldum! Saved by De Gea. Crucially, big opening for Newcastle. Foul on Darmian, surely by Perez, but there, Manchester United were uncorked.
Yeah, it looked like he's in between. He didn't know where to whip it across De Gea or put it at near post. It's a lovely little 1-2. It's Smalling who I think he gets beat on the 1-2 there, but there he's just got to try and put it either side of the gear, give him the eyes, whip it across him. But the keeper, you know, again, what will they do without that man?
Doesn't matter how you save them, keep the ball out of the net. And in many ways, he shouldn't have even been making a save, as you rightly say, Rob. It should have been put in the bottom, his right-hand corner, whipped into the bottom, because his body shape was very difficult to go back to the left-hand side of De Gea.
Making his 200th appearance for Manchester United tonight, a figure he never looked like reaching on August the 31st last year, when he seemed to be on the verge of going to Real Madrid. Mbemba with the header, still feeling aggrieved, no doubt, about the debatable handball given. Manchester United's penalty. What has jolted Newcastle? Are they about to come to life? Now here is Wijnaldum, who got 18 goals last season at PSV Eindhoven, taken out there. It's going to be a card, is there? Yeah, there is for Smalling for that.
Yeah, Wijnaldum again, you know, should have scored moments earlier, finds himself on this left-hand side. And I think it should have been Herrera he booked, actually, not Smalling. If you watch closely, I think it's Herrera who trips him up. Yes, it's Herrera.
Yeah.
Good play from Wijnaldum. Now it's important that Perez gets a great delivery into the box. Mitrovic attack it, Colaccini attack it.
You've got Fellaini in the hole there on the 6-yard box, marking no one. They've got to take him away. Someone's got to get across the front of him and drag him away, because he's won everything defensively for United so far.
Can Newcastle end their goal drought? Perez, De Gea, good fish really, because he got lots of height on it. Here's Sissoko. Back in again, Colaccini couldn't quite reach it. Manchester United are glad to just hammer that one away. Steve McLaren has faced Louis van Gaal, not only in England but in Holland and Germany as well. Remember, Steve McLaren won the Dutch league with Twente earlier on in his career. Will be a goal kick in the end. Don't forget Ladbroke Scottish Premiership action, Dundee United against Celtic, Friday 7:15 on BT Sport 1. Then on Saturday, Fletch and Sav are with you, Darren Fletcher and Robbie Savage, from 10 o'clock with all that lively debate. That's followed by Spurs against Sunderland from midday. Colback, who missed the game at the weekend, fit tonight. Last season he made an England squad, but was injured and couldn't take his place in it. Sissoko, the French international. Mitrovic, nice idea. There still might be something here. Now then, Mike Dean says the ball was won and waves away. Newcastle appeals for a penalty.
Well, first and foremost, I think Fellaini's very fortunate, because in that move he pulled the Newcastle player back. The play went on. Then Mike Dean says the ball was won. Look forward to seeing the replay on that one, but I think Fellaini's lucky, because it was a pullback again. It was the wrong side.
Yeah.
Mike Dean sees that. He could give him a second yellow.
Absolutely spot on, Rob. Yeah, he was lazy in his defending, and he's just dragged him back. And I think if the referee had seen him, I think he would have had to have pulled him up and sent him off.
Definite signs of a pulse from Newcastle United, but that won't help them too much. Now then, big shout for a penalty. Big decision for Mike Dean again.
Well, this is the pullback for Fellaini. Just keep your eye on Fellaini in the left-hand screen. There, look, he's dragging Colback back. And then, I think that is a penalty. I think that Janmaat drives into the box. Lingard trips him there. I think that's a penalty. He wins the ball after. I think that's a penalty.
Definite contact. I've got to say, I think Steve looks at it as if it was a penalty as well, but it's turning out to be a fortunate night for United with decisions.
Lots of them. Howard Webb, what's your verdict?
Ian, I have to agree with Robbie Savage on this one. I think Lingard makes a really risky tackle. He throws himself in from behind, doesn't make clean contact with the ball, maybe makes contact after he's made contact with the player. But for me, that's a penalty kick for a reckless tackle.
Might have got away with that one there, Manchester United, and a very aggrieved feeling. Steve McLaren and the Newcastle fans as well. Mike Dean's having a busy night, and to think some people thought this was going to be a dour occasion. It's all happening out there.
What a great game we've got on here, Ian. You know, United without penalties, we've had decisions. You know, Newcastle better in the last 5 or 6 minutes. You know, as Glenn said, they're on the front foot, they're winning second balls, making runs in behind United, so it's much better for Newcastle in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
That's an interesting one, this. It could have been 2-0 to Manchester United with that Rooney chance. It could have been 1-1 with the Wijnaldum chance, and it could have been 1-1 again with a possible Newcastle United penalty.
But we've seen United creating chances. We've seen Martial on this right-hand side, using his pace, trying to get in behind Dummett. We've seen Lingard making runs from left inside the full-back, and we've seen, you know, Rooney having one-on-one. So it's been much more positive in an attacking threat for Manchester United.
There's a big decision that Louis van Gaal's got to make as well, and this lad, Fellaini. Because if he doesn't keep his head, he's going to get a second yellow card, and he's going to go down to 10 men. So as a manager, you've got to be thinking about that. Certainly up to half-time, he's got to get in that dressing room and have a good chat with him.
And he's dealing with the referee who's handed out the most reds so far this season. Now Lingard for Manchester United. Chiotte has been booked for Newcastle United.
Yeah, so this challenge in another park on Herrera was very late, you know, on the back of the calf. You know, Mike Dean there, let's play, go on. When the ball eventually goes out, goes back and books Chiotte.
This is his 51st yellow card for Newcastle United.
Is that all? Only had 89, Ian.
He's catching it. By the way, Jack Colback out there is the most booked player in the Premier League so far, and if he gets one here tonight, he's going to miss the next 2 games. Here he is in possession now on 9 yellows for the season. And he's got midfield players breathing down his neck with the new signings today. Henri Saivet is a decent player from Bordeaux, and Jonjo Shelby, who most of you will know about. He's got a goal or two in him, and Newcastle United could do with that from their midfield. Smalling, now Herrera. Much brighter game from him tonight than against Sheffield United, where he was subbed early, as was Juan Mata. Mata's paid the price for that performance and is left out for the first time in the Premier League tonight, this season anyway. I think Manchester United are just waiting, aren't they, their fans, and hoping that the team will suddenly click into some better gear and start to produce a little bit of flair and excitement. Darmian from a long way away, and a long way wide too.
That little phase of play there was excellent from Chris Smalling. We say that his defending this year has been outstanding, and he's just got to improve a little bit on the ball, but twice, even the move before for United, he's come into midfield, he's looked again, and then he's gone a second time, and he's taken players out of the game. Excellent defending with the ball.
Don't forget, big one for boxing fans tonight. From 10 o'clock, we'll preview our big documentary on the life and times of Muhammad Ali. It airs on March the 1st. BT Sport giving unique access to Ali's clique with interviews from, among others, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis and George Foreman. That big preview at 10 o'clock tonight.
We've seen Chris Smalling do that in the FA Cup tie against Sheffield United the weekend, break forward with the ball. You know, taking a chance, gambling. What chance here now?
Look at the room here. Herrera's ball to Rooney. He's on his own against Colaccini. Now he's not on his own. Lingard's joined in and scored. 2-0 Manchester United, and you've got to say, brilliantly worked. Jesse Lingard with the goal.
Magnificent counter-attack from Manchester United, and the vision of Wayne Rooney to know that Lingard is running on the outside of him with the reverse pass. He slips Lingard in. Great finish. As you can see, it was a terrible sloppy pass, but just look, Rooney times his run well. Colaccini can't get across, but the way he knows that Lingard's going to be making that run on the outside of it, doesn't even look, knows he's there. Lingard's opened his body up and slides it past Rob Elliott. Fantastic counter-attack, but that man Rooney, great vision. Just watch, he doesn't even look, slips it in. Great finish, Glenn.
It's a great goal, it really is. And the ground that Lingard has made up, he's not only seen the counter-attack on and Rooney on the ball, but he's covered probably 50 yards to get there. And whether he gave him a shout or not, but it was a lovely little, cute little ball from Rooney. And he's kept his head, he's got his body round it. He wanted to play on his right side, and he's worked hard to get his body round it to get it on target.
Only the second goal for Manchester United for Jesse Lingard. He got his first earlier in the season in the win over West Bromwich Albion. And after all the torrent of criticism, and you'd have to say, those of us who witnessed it, much of it deserved at the weekend, Manchester United are playing well here.
They're playing very well. They're passing forward, they're playing with the tempo, they're closing people down. They've got 2 goals, much better, creating chances. This is what Manchester United are about. Away from home at Newcastle. Very good performance so far from the away side.
Dummett's not going to get past Ashley Young. He was one of those in what Louis van Gaal described in his press conference as the red zone. A little bit overloaded on the work front and was rested at the weekend along with Schneiderlin. He's presumably moved out of the red zone now and back onto the pitch. Did you have red zones in your day, Glenn?
I was always in the orange zone.
And a very cheesed off Steve McLaren, who feels as if the gods are against his club at the moment. And Newcastle, who haven't scored in their last 4 games, need something. Colaccini nearly provided it there. Oh, it was a really good effort.
What's a great strike from Colaccini. You know, Mitrovic does well to hold small enough. The second ball was won, and I think this hits the string behind the post. Yeah, look at that. You know, great strike. Great technique, Glenn.
It's a hell of a strike, and you know it's there or thereabouts. As soon as you look at the goalkeeper, De Gea is scrambling across to try and get there. He knew that it was going to be tight, but great effort from Colaccini.
I agree with you, Ian, what you said about Herrera before. He's taken very good positions, whereas before he was dropping to get the ball alongside Fellaini and Schneiderlin. He's getting in behind Colback and taking up some good areas for Manchester United.
Here's Tiote into Ayoze Perez, who hasn't really got into it that much so far. Neither is Sissoko. They need him to, because he can be a danger man. Janmat. And again, the pass isn't good enough, the weight on it. Well, intercepted by Tiote. That's what he's in there to do. Break it up, win it back. Can they build up a bit of a head of steam here, Newcastle? Up towards Mitrovic, Wijnaldum. Brilliant goal by Newcastle United. That was sensational. 2-1. And now they believe.
I was just about to say they needed to get a goal just before half-time, and it's Fellaini that's gone back in there as a centre-half. Look, he's done a really good job for his team. He's the one that's got up there, won the ball. But Wijnaldum is actually supporting his centre-forward, and he spins off. Great movement. What a finish. Absolutely fantastic finish, because it come at him quickly.
I think it's poor defending from Smalling. He's got to go. Wijnaldum showed greater desire to win that second ball. He believed that he was going to get on this. As a defender, I think Smalling should be thinking, where's the danger? Look at Wijnaldum's run. It's his man, Glenn. And I think Fellaini's won the initial header, but I think Smalling, when he looks back at that goal, should have reacted quicker.
Yeah, sure, you've got to track runners, but that's the hardest thing to do. And Wijnaldum went late as well, Rob. It wasn't an early run. He's gone late, and once that ball is almost on Fellaini's head, he's on his bike, and that's very difficult to defend.
What a cracking game it is here. Wijnaldum is top scorer for Newcastle. He's got 8, and all of them have been at St James's Park. You could do with him coming out with one or two like that away from home as well.
It's certainly not boring tonight, Ian.
Nope. It's a rattling good game at St James's Park. Janmaat to play it forward. Mitrovic, who played his part in that goal with a beautiful cushioned header down right into Wijnaldum's path. And he looks like he's struggling a bit, the goal scorer here, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what a finish though. You know, on the volley, you know, the side foot, he got over it and put it in the bottom corner. De Gea, no chance. You know, what a cool finish.
And that's exactly the impetus that Newcastle need. Here they come again with Janmaat. Mitrovic once more. Decision is goal kick. Great goal by Newcastle United to get them back in the argument.
Yeah, as Glenn said, it was Fellaini who dropped into the back four. Smalling's gone for it. He thought the ball was going to get played into Wijnaldum's feet. I want my centre half to stay there. You know, Rio might have an opinion that at half-time, but he's run off the back of Smalling. But what a fantastic finish. Right foot, bottom corner. What a very enjoyable game, Ian.
Maybe more to come as well here. That goal, by the way, provided, of course, by one of Louis van Gaal's very own Dutch World Cup players. Part of the squad that got them to the semi-finals. Wijnaldum played in every game in Brazil.
Well, Wijnaldum's playing in that same little pocket that Herrera's playing for United, for Man United, and they do it differently. You know, Herrera will look to feet, he'll look to go and beyond a little bit, but Wijnaldum, as soon as that ball goes in there, we said early, he's going to make runs. He makes runs in behind, he makes runs off the centre forward. This time it was off almost a United player, but he's got to continue to make them runs. And if he doesn't get picked up, he's going to be a thorn in United's side.
It can only go backwards here, really, safely. Newcastle have been the kings this season in the Premier League of losing points from winning positions more than any other club. Can they perform the reverse process here?
The good thing in that dressing room, and they're saying we've scored, we've got a goal. You know, they've been struggling to score. That'll give them a lot of heart and a lot of belief to come out in the second half and get this crowd going. This crowd are quiet tonight as well.
We've ended the long Newcastle goal drought, that goal. Will it spark a flood? Mbemba in towards Sissoko. Breaks on here if they're quick. Herrera, the space too. Martial. Lingard and Rooney waiting in the middle. Danger for Newcastle here. Martial! It was always going wide. He took a deflection on the way and will be a corner.
Such good outlets. Lingard on the left, he got his goal from there. Martial on the right. You know, he's drove inside onto his left foot. Positive. This just took a slight touch off Dummett's right foot. There. And he's given a corner. Correct decision, Mike Dean. On the counter-attack, United look fantastic tonight. Got to say that.
Yeah, you feel Newcastle have got to try and nullify that. They're going to try and catch them on the counter, and they've looked really dangerous. They've played much quicker tempo, haven't they?
Daley Blint. Smalling have got forward from the back, couldn't do too much with that. Well, they've had to suffer a lot this season. The side down among the dumps, really, for most of the campaign. And remember, they survived in the Premier League only on the final day last season with that win over West Ham, who just happened to be the next opponents. That will be half-time. Jorginho Wijnaldum has given Newcastle United hope here with a splendidly taken goal set up by Alex Mitrovic. That after Wayne Rooney's penalty had put Manchester United ahead. It's a debatable call, everybody arguing about that one. No argument about the second. Rooney setting up Jesse Lingard to put United 2-0 up. But Newcastle are back in this. A fascinating second half to come. Manchester United leading 2-1.
3 away defeats on the spin for Manchester United will come to an end unless Newcastle can do something, and you have been more impressed with this first half performance, Paul.
Yeah, I think it's been a perfect away performance, really. Counter-attacking football at its best. I think they keep winning the ball, they're playing quite deep, keep winning the ball and breaking off them, and have shown real desire with Jesse and the pace of Martial and Rooney, and yeah, it's been great so far.
But Newcastle right back in this now.
Well, they've given their manager something now to go at in this second half, and they probably did deserve that in the scheme of things after that first half performance.
Yeah, I think Manchester United's game plan will be similar to the first: contain and then break with pace.
All right, thanks, guys. Robbie, Glenn, Ian, back to you. And does Robbie still say it wasn't a penalty?
Robbie?
Yeah, I do. I still believe that. And remember, you know, you have to jump with your arms in the air. I think his arm's in a natural position, and Fellaini heads it onto his arm from 3 inches. So I'm going to stick by my decision.
And I'm staying with you, Rob.
Thank you, Glenn.
This federal debate will go on throughout the evening. Here's the second half. Manchester United 2-1 up away from home and producing one of their best performances of the season. It has to be said so far. Maybe the other one, the one that really stood out, was the 3-0 win they had at Everton. Here's Smalling looking to pick up the run of Herrera. Janmaat now for Newcastle. Newcastle needing a win to get out of the bottom 3 tonight. If they did win, they'd climb above Swansea, but clearly there's plenty to do. Here's Dummett. Colaccini, 7.5 years at Newcastle now, stayed with the club after they were relegated. Helped to get them instantly promoted as well. He's seen it all really around here in recent times. Sissoko.
Yeah, lovely little run from Sissoko. Just brought Darmian towards the ball and spun in behind, and it was a nicely weighted pass from Janmaat as well. But the game's just come out a little bit slow. The tempo there's no atmosphere at the moment. Just needs to be lifted. They're waiting for something to happen.
Mitrovic. Steve McLaren's been calling for that, despite the problems for the 50,000 fans here to really be a part of this bid to stay in the Premier League. Dummett into the channel, hoping Wijnaldum can pick it up. Smalling and to get his feet sorted out, and in the end it's only a throw.
Yeah, good defending there from Chris Smalling. You know, David De Gea was coming for the ball, but Smalling, as all good defenders do, took advantage, took control of the situation and cleared the danger.
That goal just before the break, giving Newcastle United some much-needed momentum and belief.
And that's the sort of run that Wijnaldum was doing really well first half, and it's his first one he's done this half. But Smalling did cover the run really well, but he's got to continue that, and only needs a United defender to go to sleep like he did when he scored his goal. He'll be in.
Steve McLaren late out for duty for the second half.
He's not missed anything.
Kept saying the same thing in press conferences after games most of the season. We'll keep on working at it. We're convinced we'll get it right. That's nice velvet control from Perez, but a bit of a luxury touch after, really. Giving the ball straight back to Manchester United, who once or twice tonight have even resembled the counter-attacking thrusts of Sir Alex Ferguson's heyday. Darmian loves to raid forward. He's found a good ball as well there inside to Lingard, scorer of the second goal. Newcastle can't clear their lines, and back it comes again. Young.
Good tackle there from Tiote, but again, it's Herrera who's been very instrumental tonight with his little runs, getting in behind Newcastle's back four. That time, Tiote covered his run well and put a good sliding tackle in.
Interesting to see what business, if any, Manchester United do in this January transfer window. From time to time, there's a lot of big talk about the likes of Bale and Neymar, players like that. Martial was rather crowded out. Here comes Wijnaldum. Great burst of pace from him. Still Wijnaldum. And he got Mitrovic up there with him. Sissoko's arrived in support now. Here he is. Oh, and Perez wanted all day.
It's great tracking back from Manchester United, though. You know, Perez has to deliver that ball into the box. Wijnaldum, it was a great break, and then he got into the box, but Perez has to deliver that.
Again, Rooney looking to link up with Jesse Lingard, who's having a lively game. Fully over his hamstring injury. Now again, another dodgy-looking ball from Newcastle United. They really don't need that sort of thing. Cole back to lay it forward. Mitrovic's touch again. Looking to pick up Wijnaldum, who's springing from midfield. He scored one, he might have had another too.
I think Daley Blinn's done well tonight so far. He's read the situation well, he's nipped in front of the attacker, you know, and passed the ball into midfield easy. I think the second goal come from Daley Blinn's interception, so I think he's defended very well tonight. Again, he wins the ball and gives it away.
He does that time. There's the old commentator's curse for you, Robbie.
He hasn't done that much all season, though.
Oh, good ball in behind. Sissoko here, turning, twisting. He's made the chance, and De Gea to the rescue again. Oh, it was brilliant, really, from Moussa Sissoko, but he couldn't open his scoring account for the season.
That was a wonderful bit of skill, change of pace. He's gone in behind Young, and Ashley Young, this is where he just turns his back, and that's a fantastic bit of skill. He hits the target, but De Gea stays big, doesn't go down early. Look, stays upright, takes the blow to his chest, but good keeping.
It's a miss-hit corner kick. And Sheikh Tiote. Janmaat trying his luck. He's trying to beat De Gea from about 40 yards there, Daryl Janmaat.
Yeah, you know, I think David De Gea was winded from that initial save, you know, and Janmaat might have thought, you know, can I test him there? You can see there, he just goes down De Gea. You know, Janmaat tried to catch him out, but you've got to say, with Sissoko's opportunity, he had two men in the box. Mitrovic, can he, on his left foot, square it for an easy tap? He's gone for that near post, but again, David De Gea stands up big and strong.
Rooney, who's in the mood tonight, found Fellaini well there. Fellaini wanted rather too much time and dwelt on the ball. Newcastle were never going to give him that. And Newcastle United really, despite some more encouraging cameos lately in their displays, there comes a time when the hard luck stories start to sound like a broken record. They have to start getting some points on the board. Chancel Mbemba won the header for Newcastle. Janmaat picks it up here. Challenges flying in. This game everything but the Manchester United Sheffield United FA Cup tie wasn't. It's got a pulsating feel to it. Sissoko trying to get in each other's way rather than Mitrovic and Wijnaldum.
You've got to think, I think it was Herrera tracking back, who might have just tripped up Wijnaldum.
Manchester United again with Martial. Ashley Young needs no invitation to get forward. Herrera was trying to just slip out, and Martial in there. And Newcastle making a bit of a present of the ball. Schneiderlin. Herrera. Good challenge from Newcastle. Good pressing. Won it back, but then Tiote lost it carelessly. Neither side can keep the ball, it would seem.
It's like a hot potato there, wasn't it, for 30 seconds? But for me, Tiote's got a big responsibility for Newcastle now this second half. If not, I think United might pick them off. He's got to sit. And he's been involved in the play, right and left. And for me, he's got to sit in that midfield so the fullbacks can get forward. But he sits there so United don't break on him.
Well, Louis van Gaal was complaining at the weekend in the press conference that Sheffield United had too many men behind the ball, as if that was some kind of new phenomenon. Here's Martial on a terrific-looking run, and it's come out to Herrera, lovely thinking, and Lingard wastes it. He was beautifully set up, he had the room, and that has driven Louis van Gaal half crazy.
It's that guy Martial committing players, driving at the heart of Newcastle defence, and what vision here from Herrera. You know, he doesn't even look. He does not even look at Lingard. He just knows instinctively he's there. The reverse pass, and Lingard's done, you know, he's opened his body. He's looked for that far corner. But brilliant pass from Herrera there, Glenn.
Great vision. He had a little look over his shoulder before the pass came from Martial, and Lingard has got to keep that ball low. He didn't work hard enough to stay over the top of the ball. He's got to drill that low. He's leant back and it's gone flying over the top, but what a chance for United, and the manager was... I don't think I've seen him so annoyed.
If Manchester United don't win this, you wouldn't want to be Jesse Lingard later on in the dressing room, because that was a bad miss. It was a chance really for Manchester United to, well, as near as you could get, put the thing to bed.
Again, it was Herrera with great vision. You know, he's been instrumental tonight, always looking for the ball, getting on the half turn, making forward runs, you know, in that number 10 position. Again, he picks it up there. Great position.
Having one of his best games for Manchester United, Herrera, who tends to be a bit in and out of the team.
He's affecting the game tonight. He's really playing on the half turn really well. It's the best I've seen him play in that position. Sometimes I feel he needs to come on to things, but he's getting turned really well.
He's giving Manchester United a bit of a different dimension tonight. That's Mitrovic, who's down injured. He's only scored one goal, Alex Mitrovic, in front of his home fans this season at St James's Park. That was back in October. Clash of heads there with Smalling.
You've got to say tonight, looking at Wayne Rooney, he's had his critics this year, but still, you know, and you can't. He's undoubtedly, you know, a top player. You know, he scored that back heel against Swansea when his manager needed him. He got the penalty at the weekend when his manager needed him. Scored tonight, set up a goal, great vision. So, you know, I think he's an easy target when United don't play well, but he keeps churning out performances. Okay, at times he won't play great, but he'll always have an effect on the game.
He's now got 13 Premier League goals against Newcastle United. He's got to think about them. Sissoko, though, here, he's coming to life in the second half. Sissoko, that might be good news for Newcastle. How big a miss will that Lingard one prove to be? Lovely ball from Young. That was aimed towards Perez. He didn't quite drop over Ashley Young, but he has had to give away a corner.
Good position from the fullback.
Newcastle looking to pull off what they hope might be a storming comeback in this game. Perez to play it in. Fellaini won the header. Back in by Jack Colback. Colback again. He wanted it more than most. Sissoko blocked by Darmian. Another Newcastle corner kick. Curled in there. Mitrovic was attacking it. He didn't quite get there. Good tempo about Newcastle's work at the moment. Manchester United penned back in by Tiote, and it's too long. A bit wasteful in the end, really.
Yes, it was. There was a little bit of pressure there from Newcastle and a couple of corners. I just think on the corners, Fellaini's sitting in that 6-yard box. I think Newcastle have got to put a body in there, and then the marker will go in there with him.
Look at that scoreline that's just come up. Aston Villa, of course, seemingly doomed, but leading by Jolyon Lescott's goal against Crystal Palace, who are normal away day masters. It's still Bournemouth 1, West Ham United 0 in the other game being played in the Premier League tonight. Lots of games tomorrow, of course, as well. We'll bring you the one from Anfield, Liverpool and Arsenal.
Couple of shocks tonight. Aston Villa winning and United entertaining. Hopefully more of the same.
Fellaini won it back for Manchester United. I think Jesse Lingard is going to be subbed very shortly, and I think that's how annoyed Louis van Gaal was by the miss, unless there's some other reason, whether he's picked up or not. Matteo Darmian. Nicely done. Martial looking to turn into space. Tiote wasn't going to allow that. There's Mitrovic. Good hold-up play from him, the former Anderlecht man. Wijnaldum. Newcastle working very, very hard to claw their way back into this argument.
Yeah, another great run from Wijnaldum there. Dummett had nowhere to go. He was looking for Mitrovic to show, but suddenly he's gone in from behind Mitrovic and made that run into the channel and got him out of trouble.
Colback. Sissoko couldn't quite reach it. It's come out to Janmaat. Manchester United glad to just scramble it away. This is now becoming quite concerted pressure from the home side. Mitrovic attacks it again. Was Herrera fouled? He thought so. Mike Dean didn't. St James's Park crowd perhaps sensing something. Mbemba was unlikely to hold on to that. Now he's out of position. Rooney is all alone at the moment. He's looking around for support. There isn't any. He's going to have to do it all on his own, and Colaccini makes sure that he doesn't do that.
That's great defending. The boys before the game highlighted Colaccini in one-on-one situations. Wasn't very good on that occasion. Stood up to Rooney, watched the ball. Great defending from the skipper.
Wijnaldum, lovely ball. Colback goes down. Fellaini's challenge. Mike Dean says no. Wijnaldum tries his luck again. It's blocked. Newcastle knocking on the door.
Totally agree with Mike Dean there. No penalty. Colback wide in his shoot on his right foot. I think he's got that one spot on. No penalty. Went down too easy, Colback.
And Howard Webb agrees with that decision of yours, Robbie. It's Herrera, meanwhile.
I think Colback was waiting for the tackle. He was waiting for Fellaini to make the tackle, and he was going to go down whatever, and Fellaini stood up and didn't make the tackle, and no penalty there for me either.
Surely he's got a shoot on his right foot. You know, he's all left-footed, but surely with an opportunity, he's got to shoot there.
It has been a problem without labouring the point for Newcastle. They're not getting many goals from their midfield players, and not enough from their strikers either. Of course, Papi Cissé's out injured for a while at the moment. Janmaat. Colback's latched onto this one again. This time he does try his luck, but it's way off target. He knows it. Now then, it's laid his shot for a penalty.
It's a great run from Colback. As you can see there, no challenge whatsoever. Goal down far too in. You've got to give Fellaini credit. Okay, he's pulling his arm back a little, but I think not enough there for Colback to go down. No penalty.
No penalty for me, Rob, but great ball from Wijnaldum, because the weight he put in there, he actually passed it in there to say go and shoot. He put it the other side of Fellaini.
Well, Jesse Lingard is being substituted, what, about 3 or 4 minutes after this. You saw Louis van Gaal's reaction, didn't like it at all, and he's decided that's enough from Lingard, despite his goal earlier on tonight.
I think it's been very impressive, Lingard. You know, the desire to score that second goal. You know, what he covers 60, 70 yards. I think he's been very good tonight, Jesse Lingard. Obviously, he might have a bit of cramp stretching there.
And on comes Memphis, who, to be fair to him, did make a bit of a difference against Sheffield United. Indeed, it was the challenge on him from Dylan Hammond that led to Manchester United's match-winning penalty. Good work from Perez to Sissoko. Just showed a little bit too much of it to Darmian.
What he has done, Lingard, all night as well, is defended well. Yarmak gets on his bike really quickly, as you see there, and Memphis was slow catching him up. He was caught, and I think that's why they played Lingard out there tonight and put Martial on the other side, because I don't think Martial would have stayed with Yarmak.
Newcastle United got the key to the safe. Colback's in-swinging ball in. The penalty kick is going to be given, is it here? Yes, it is, I think. Yes, it is.
It's Smalling on Mitrovic.
Yeah.
There's a massive tussle going on. Smalling gets his arm around Mitrovic. Oh, to be fair, Mitrovic grabs Smalling as well. You can see the middle of your picture.
Oh, look at that.
There's wrestling going on there.
Good refereeing. Good refereeing. Look, he's got his arms around him already, Chris Smalling. OK, he's come round the other way, but at the beginning, Chris Smalling, the referee's probably seen that from there. He's got a great angle of it. And in those circumstances, for me, it's great that the referee gives the advantage to the attacking player.
Newcastle United with the chance to equalise. Alexander Mitrovic, who's seen where he puts his last two penalties. David De Gea will know that. Big moment. And he's equalised for Newcastle. Back from the dead in this game. 2-2. Bedlam around St James's Park.
Fantastic penalty, you know, pressure penalty. Very much similar to Rooney's penalty. Waits for the keeper to dive, puts it in the same position. Rooney put his in the same end. Very good penalty, and I think Mike Dean got that one right.
We've got a game on our hands now, and although we've been saying this is the foul, look at this. It started before this, though. Smalling had his arms, both of them, round his waist, and I think that's where the referee identified it then. And I think that as it carried on, he was always going to give the penalty. But it's a character, it's got to be that Manchester United now, they've played some really good football tonight, better than they have done, but now it's about their character. They've got to come back from this now, because this crowd now will get beyond Newcastle.
Fourth booking of the season to Chris Smalling, who seems almost incidental among the far bigger plot here. Now Manchester United have to go and win this game again. Memphis. Not away yet. Colaccini made sure that it didn't hang around in the danger zone a moment longer.
What a fantastic game we got now. Some massive decisions. I think Mike Dean's got that one right. You know,
terrible ball from Darmian. Wijnaldum in here, but the flag's up. The flag is up. The flag is up. It will not count. Newcastle's fans thought they were ahead there, but that flag was up straight away.
Correct decision. That's sloppy play from Darmian and Manchester United. And unfortunately, he had to play it when he had to, but he's way offside, and it's the correct decision. But that will get the crowd on their feet. Here they go. You can hear it now.
I think that pass from Darmian was maybe a sign of Manchester United jitters. We'll call in Howard Webb, by the way, in a moment on that penalty, but it's happening fast here. Let's hear from Howard Webb on that big latest penalty call.
Ian, what a game, and some huge calls for Mike Dean, and like I said before, he's not afraid to give them. On this one, you'll see what's important is the fact that Smalling holds Mitrovic first. Mitrovic is trying to get away. Smalling's only intention is to stop him. He grabs his arms around him. It becomes a wrestling match after that. But for me, the important thing is that Smalling's only intention is to hold him, stop him from getting to the ball. After that, Mitrovic tries to get away. But for me, penalty kick correctly awarded by Mike Dean.
Thank you very much indeed, Howard. My goodness me, how much more drama and controversy is there going to be in this game? Sissoko, this time, Wijnaldum blocked by his own player. Mitrovic returns, tries to score. Wijnaldum nearly there again. Ashley Young just got it away from him. Game and a half here.
Well, the Newcastle fans wanted entertainment, the United fans wanted entertainment, and we've got that great play from Newcastle. Sissoko, the driving force in the second half. We said it before the game.
Here comes Janmat in the latest Newcastle raid. They believe they can win this now. You can sense it too. Sissoko. This time Perez's shot is blocked by the red shirts. Newcastle so very anxious to win the ball back, which they do again. Lovely ball that time. Tiote to Wijnaldum, who's a real thorn in Manchester United's flesh now. And away by Ashley Young. News has come through that West Ham have equalised at Bournemouth through the excellent Dimitri Payet.
But they're winning the second balls, they're putting the pressure on the United back four, they're making mistakes. Positive play.
Rob, United have a problem down this left-hand side here. Since they've made the change of Lingard, Memphis hasn't really done the defensive job, and Janmat is playing like the wide right man, and Sissoko's just floating in there, and they've got to put a stop to that. I don't know whether Van Gaal was aware of that when he made that substitution, but they look really strong down this side, Newcastle, and there's all sorts of problems being caused.
Something for Louis van Gaal to think about. But Manchester United are rattled now. Don't forget tomorrow, Liverpool against Arsenal. That might be another thriller, mightn't it, from Anfield, 7:15, BT Sport 1. It'll be followed by the Football's On. Ian Stone presenting a sideways look at the week's football with guest John Schwedickham and Ian Moore. Juan Mata is going to be introduced here. Having been left out a subpar display. I'm sure he'd be the first to agree with that at the weekend against Sheffield United. But he has got 3 goals on this ground. It's one of his favourite grounds. He got 2 in a 4-0 win for United a couple of seasons ago. Well played by Wijnaldum, wasn't it, to Ayosi Perez. Too long for Mitrovic. He didn't really look up and measure that.
The energy Wijnaldum's shown tonight from that number 10 position. He's given Newcastle an outlet. Mitrovic goes short. He runs in behind. What a performance from Wijnaldum. Got his goal, been brilliant. And it's been a brilliant game, Ian.
Mitrovic's physicality coming to the fore there. Not a Newcastle number 9, but he wanted 45, 4 and 5 plus. Together comes to 9. It's his reasoning anyway. Here's Wijnaldum. Nicely done. Perez this time didn't really get hold of it, but they're buzzing, aren't they, Newcastle now?
We've seen a number of reverse passes tonight. We've seen Rooney for the goal. We've seen Herrera when Lingard missed that chance. If he can just reverse that ball, what an opportunity would be. Decided to take the shot, but end-to-end stuff here.
Can Manchester United just take the heat out of things a little bit, just keep the ball for a little while?
Correct, that's what they need to do, and they've been criticised for keeping the ball and going nowhere, but there's spells in games when you need to do it, and at this moment in time, away from home, they've just conceded to go 2-2 from 2-0 up. This is where they've got to take possession of the ball now.
And just let the storm subside a little.
There's big moments in game as well. We've seen it 2-1. Rooney was 1-on-1 with Colaccini. Driving into the box, the captain stood up, make a great challenge, and Newcastle have since equalised. That was a big moment in the game, and the captain with a great challenge.
Wonder what Newcastle's new signings are making of it. Jonjo Shelvey, Henri Saivet are watching from the stands. Mata, who's been waiting a while to come on. And now he will get that chance to replace Ander Herrera.
I think he's played very well tonight, one of his best performances of the season. He's been very bright, made good runs, got in the half term, and the manager decides to take him off, along with the goal scorer in Lingard. So Memphis has come on for him. Mata now comes on for Herrera, and you've got to say, two of United's better players tonight.
Memphis, by the way, has gone 9 games without a goal since he scored a very good one at Watford in Manchester United's last away win. They have had problems on the road, as Robbie was telling you earlier. Lost their last 3 away games in all competitions.
We just see what shape United go into. He's just having a word where the Martial matter is. Come on, I thought he might have played in the pocket, but I think he's telling him that he might be going up with Rooney to play with 2 up top. I'm not sure is it Rooney might be dropping into the pocket, but Matters took that right-hand side.
Young with a good ball in, away by Mbemba. Kept in play by Wijnaldum. As news comes through that West Ham now have the lead at Bournemouth. A second goal, Enner Valencia. So that's a double whammy from the Hammers down on the south coast. Bournemouth were leading. Villa still 1 up against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, we see Martial now right up the top, playing against the 2 Newcastle centre-halves, and Wayne Rooney are drop into that pocket where Herrera was playing.
Rooney to pick it up again. No shortage of fight and passion, although Colaccini's missed out. Now he's out of position. Rooney just a little bit too much on the ball for Martial, who's forced a little wider than he would have wanted, and then gives it away.
I'll tell you what, Colaccini done Fellaini an awful lot of favours there. It was a little kick out from Fellaini when Colaccini won that tackle. I think, again, if Mike Dean sees that, he could give Fellaini a second yellow, but I think Colaccini's done Fellaini a massive favour there.
Game's beautifully poised. The minutes have flown by in this second half, coming up to the last quarter of an hour or so. Flicked on by Sissoko. Oh, and it's missed by Blint. Mitrovic. Still Mitrovic. Oh, and it's a horrible miscue in the end.
You've got to say, why let the ball bounce there? Daley Blint's trying to hook the ball over his shoulder, going back towards his own goal. And this is a great challenge there from Colaccini. You can see he wins the ball, and just keep your eye on Fellaini here as the ball goes forward. There, a little kick out from Fellaini. I think he's very fortunate.
That's Wijnaldum again. And speed and movement are constant problem to the Manchester United defence as this game has gone on. Free kick, Newcastle here. Certainly Steve McClaren will feel that if Newcastle do get something from this game, it's something definitely to build on, but really the position they're in, they could kind of do with it being 3 points, not just 1.
I think what Glenn alluded to with Martial playing, further up top, Rooney in that number 10 position, with Newcastle attacking so much on the counter-attack with Martial's pace against Mbemba and Colaccini in the centre-forward position could be a real threat.
Played up towards Martial. Rooney in a deeper position now, just behind him, just as comfortable there, of course. Return to form tonight for Wayne Rooney, who did come out with that deft goal against Swansea recently as well. Here's Martial again. Now here's Memphis. This is what he loves doing. He's going to let the shot go. He took a deflection. He comes to Rooney. Oh, it's splendid. It's splendid from Wayne Rooney. Back with a bang this evening. 3-1 Manchester United. 3-2, I should say.
You've got to say now is a fantastic substitution. You know, we questioned Lingard coming up at Memphis. He wants to attack players. That's what Manchester United players do. They get the ball, they take a chance, they drive at people on that right-hand side. And initially it was a great block from the Newcastle defender, but Rooney just holds out. He gets a bit of fortune with the Dummett block, but what a finish. He whips it in that far corner. The goalkeeper, no chance. Great technique. 3-2, what a game.
It's a wonderful, wonderful strike. His body shape is shaping as if he's going to play it into the other corner. He just whips across it at the last moment. And the ball of Dummett came nicely to him. It didn't come at pace. He had time to get his body right and think about what part of the net he was going to actually hit. It was a beautiful strike.
He's now scored more goals against Newcastle United in the Premier League than any other club. 14.
But you know what we've seen tonight? We've seen United players drive at people, commit people, play with pace, play with power. You know, they've got 3 goals. This is what the Manchester United fans want to see. Newcastle have been exceptional as well. It's been such an entertaining game. But this is performance. The likes when Paul Scholes played, the likes when Rio Ferdinand played. Fantastic away performance.
Off comes Jack Colback to be replaced by the generally out of favour Johan Gouffron. Used to be a regular starter when Alan Pardew was here. Now there's talk that he might be farmed out during this January window, but he has a job to do here first. Have Newcastle really got it in them to come back? Don't forget Ladbroke Scottish Premiership Friday, Dundee United against Celtic 7:15 on BT Sport 1. On Saturday it's Fletcher and Sav from 10, and our feature game is Spurs against Sunderland from noon. Here's Tiote. Pretty slippery from Memphis. It was his work at the beginning that set that up, but what a hit.
The thing as well, he found himself in that number 10 position. If the change hadn't been made and Martial was playing that right-hand side, Rooney might have made a run into the box. But because Martial was at number 9 position, Rooney automatically found himself in that 10 position. He just hung out, and that's why he found himself in such space to whip the ball in the far corner. So you've got to say all credit to Van Gaal.
Yeah, very much so, Robert. For me, that's Rooney's position for me from now going on, for England possibly, and for club, because I think he can play that role really well, and he comes onto things out of the goal. But we'll wait and see. He keeps playing him up there as the focal point down the middle, doesn't he?
One thing's for certain, Louis van Gaal won't have to face any questions from the media tonight about his team being boring. And a terrific game. It's a bit of a heartbreaker for Newcastle United, though, having come back from 2 down to pull it back to 2-2. They now have to chase this game in the last 8 minutes. It really was a vintage Rooney strike.
Well, it's a great view to see this here. It's a great block there from Newcastle defenders, but the ball from Dummett just comes so nicely for Wayne, and it's a beautiful finish. It really is. We've seen him score goals like this, body shape going that way, but he's just hit it. He comes off the floor. Watch him. He's off the floor after he's hit it. It's a beautiful strike.
One of the greatest goals Rooney scored was against Newcastle. Remember that one when he was arguing with the referee? The ball fell over his shoulder, or came over his shoulder. He suddenly exploded onto it and scored a volley at Old Trafford. And I think all of us who were there that day will never forget that one.
I alluded to it earlier. Wayne Rooney's an easy target when United aren't playing well. I hope he gets the praise for his performance tonight. The leadership he showed. You know, he's got his goals. He set up one. He's been magnificent.
Here's Memphis playing for his place. Goes past Mbemba, got a great ball in Fellaini, and a vital save from Rob Elliott there. Otherwise, that was it.
Has to score. He has to head it back where it come from. He's headed straight at the goalkeeper. He's got to score there. He's got to put the game out of Newcastle's reach. Easy opportunity.
Good ball in again from Ashley and Colaccini to get it away. Coming on strong here, Manchester United. Mata, having been stung by the Newcastle United comeback. This is an impressive response from Manchester United here. Schneiderlin playing the 1-2. Rooney. Ashley Young. Schneiderlin. At times tonight, it's as if we've been watching a completely different football team than the one we've been looking at.
Well, yeah, and you saw Rooney on the halfway line linking United's move for Fellaini's chance. Then he's got involved on the right-hand side, had played a little dinky ball into Mata. He's running the show in that position, but it was that chance for Fellaini, which he should have scored, has all come from Rooney linking on that halfway line. It's a beautiful cross. He's got to score. He's got to go back across Elliott rather than just happy to head it. If he goes back into the opposite corner from where the ball's come from, it's a goal.
Incandescent with rage.
Well,
the manager.
He has to score, but I think the most pleasing thing for Manchester United fans tonight is they've seen wingers attack people. They've shown desire, willingness for people to get into the box. You know, how they play on the counter-attack. Memphis has come on. He's committed Mbembe. He's gone to the byline. He's put crosses in. You know, the difference in performances from this one to the weekend in the FA Cup against Sheffield United is unbelievable.
Manchester United putting on a performance. It sounds like West Ham are too, and Valencia's got another one. They now lead 3-1 at Bournemouth. Well, it's the start of a big Manchester United revival. I know they've won their last couple of games in the League and FA Cup, but this performance has come with a good deal of sparkle and excitement, and Louis van Gaal is thinking we should have a couple more as well. Two big misses, really. Dummett here, looking for some options. Mitrovic of Newcastle still got something more for us here. This time Sissoko runs into trouble. Just at the moment, Manchester United have kind of taken control of things.
It's this man Rooney that's taken control, Ian. Look at him. He's done his bit in the penalty area. He's scored his goals. He's created. Now he's come deeper and he's running the show for United. He really is. Just drawn a foul there as well.
A frustrated Wijnaldum. Something for boxing fans. 10 o'clock tonight we'll preview a big documentary we've got coming up about Muhammad Ali. It airs on March the 1st, but BT Sport has been given unique access to Ali's inner circle. There'll be interviews from, among others, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, Don King. That's 10 o'clock tonight for a big preview of that. It's certainly one for every boxing fan. So do stay with us on BT Sport. Young forward to Martial. Maybe a little bit of tiredness, just showed a lot of it to Colaccini. What Newcastle would give now to have somebody like Alan Shearer out there doing a bit of radio commentary tonight. The all-time Premier League top goal scorer, 260. He was among the scorers that famous night that Newcastle beat Manchester United 5-0 here, the night of that famous Philippe Albert lob over Peter Schmeichel. And still, I think, selling the T-shirts and tapes of that in this part of the world. 20 years ago, by the way. Mitrovic to Sissoko. It's a poor ball back to him, though. Here's Janmaat. Newcastle staring down the barrel of what would be a 5th consecutive defeat in all competitions. Oh, Tony got caught there. Played out to Rooney, who wants a hat-trick now. It's gone out of play that time.
Great pressure from United as well. You know, Rooney, I thought for a split second he was going to go down, but stayed on his feet. You know, looking for that hat-trick. Been outstanding tonight, the Manchester United captain.
Wijnaldum. Maybe something here. Janmaat plays it inside. Tony, the former Northampton player, can't quite reach it. Here's Moussa Sissoko again. Got the better of Memphis. Blint stuck out a leg. Janmaat gets it back into the mixer again towards Mitrovic. Still not away. And oh, there's an equaliser! It's Paul Dummett, the left back, the local boy. 3-3 in one of the great Premier League games of the season. He can't believe it. It's just astonishing stuff here tonight.
Oh, what a game. The left-back finds himself on the edge of the area. The question is, has Schneidlin, got a little deflection on it? He tried to fling himself in front of the ball. I think it's come off Chris Smalling, actually. It's a great strike from the left-back. It's just come off Chris Smalling, flies into the top corner. Just watch the little nick of Smalling there, off his elbow. De Gea, no chance. What a game.
Newcastle United 2-0 down and then 3-2 down, have pulled it back yet again. What next? 4 minutes of added time. We're into that. Don't blink. And certainly don't go and make a cup of tea.
You've got to say, Glenn alluded to earlier, Memphis in that defensive area. Could he have cleared the danger? Could he put the ball out for a corner? He tried to use his body, and eventually the ball dropped to Dummett at the edge of the box. He fired it into the top corner via a deflection of Smalling.
Well, it would have been feeling terrible, Dummett, as well, with the ball that came off his foot and went into the path of Rooney, and he's put it in the top corner, 3-2, and he's not got himself that far forward tonight, but obviously the last minutes he's come up with a fantastic strike, be it a slight deflection as well, but they've deserved it, to be honest. Newcastle United have been great as well tonight. It's been a wonderful game of football.
Yeah, I'm going to give it the man of the match. Wijnaldum's been brilliant for Newcastle, but I'm going to give it Wayne Rooney. 2 goals, set up Lingard's. I think he's been fantastic in a much better performance from Manchester United.
Wayne Rooney getting Robbie's man of the match nomination. Newcastle, one more substitution to make. Sim de Jong is going to come off his brother. Played in a PSV Eindhoven Manchester United Champions League game earlier this season. PSV won in Holland. But in this topsy-turvy game, you wouldn't be surprised if there was to be one last sting in the tail, would you? Memphis to play this one in. And De Jong was involved straight away with that defensive header. Mata. It goes Dummett, wins that header. Won by Memphis, who might get a chance to let a volley go here. No, not quite. There wasn't the room. Is there a break on? The crowd are out of their seats here. And it's going to be a Newcastle United free kick. I'll tell you something, Paul Dummett, who got that goal, he doesn't get many, but when he does, they tend to be big ones. In only his second game for the club, he scored against Liverpool. He's got one against Manchester United, a priceless one tonight.
Good centre-forward play from Mitrovic, but I think Louis van Gaal after the game will look to that Fellaini header, 3-2. All he's got to do is head it back where it come from. That puts the game to bed. Missed opportunity. Newcastle punish him with Dummett's equaliser.
And they've had the chances to win the game, no question, Manchester United. Well, there's another clash with Tony going down. None of the officials seem that interested. Of course, the crowd are at fever pitch. Now they're going to shout for everything.
No, I don't think this is a penalty. I thought it was very good defending off Darmian. I don't think it's a penalty.
And to think most predictions of this game tonight were 0-0.
What a game of football. I think we've been entertained. Newcastle been magnificent, to come back the way they have. Manchester United so exciting on the counter-attack. People taking chances. Great away performance. I think it's one of the best games of the season.
No question about that. Mata. Mike Dean took a glance at his watch, but the play goes on. Wijnaldum isn't finished yet. Driving at the Manchester United defence. Just sold Mitrovic a little short, didn't he? That is the final whistle. An absolute classic thriller at St James's Park in this famous fixture, which has so many memories down the years. This game right up there. 3-3. Manchester United will kick themselves. They got 3. They missed 2 very, very big chances that could have put the game to bed at crucial stages. But what fight from struggling Newcastle United. Back from 2 down, and then when it was 3-2, an absolute humdinger of an equaliser, dummy shot. It might have taken a deflection, but it was going like a rocket goalwards anyway. And it ends here. A really, really pulsating game. Newcastle United 3, Manchester United 3.
Did anyone else expect a cracker tonight? 2 teams who struggle for goals and form deliver one of the most entertaining games of the season. Nothing boring about that one, Paul.
No, it was a great game to watch, but both teams give as good as they got. 6 goals. I think United are probably the most disappointed team. On a 2-0 lead and a 3-2 lead as well. A little bit disappointed with that, but Wayne Rooney was sensational, and you have to say Wijnaldum was good for Newcastle as well.
Missed chances as far as Man United are concerned.
Yeah, they'll be looking at that Fellaini chance. Depay comes on, puts a great miss on the plate there. You expect him to score that. You've got to score that. So the game's dead and buried then. You come out of here with 3 points, job done, but they'll be looking back on that and be very disappointed. I think Memphis could have probably done a bit better there.
And you can't begrudge Newcastle this equaliser, can you?
You can't. You know, it was as we said, it was a fantastic game, but they deserved this, I felt, Newcastle United. They've come back twice, they've stayed in this game, and it takes a deflection, and they deserve that little bit of luck because, you know, these fans were brilliant tonight, and so were the players.
Yeah, he said it, hasn't he, Steve McLaren? They've been playing better, they deserve better results. And what an important goal that is for them. Who knows, perhaps that can inspire Newcastle to go on a run. 3-3 here at St James's Park. A truly special evening of football. Let's confirm then the rest of the Premier League results for you. And it's been the night of surprises, actually. Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 0. Villa win. A Jolyon Lescott goal. It's just their first win since the opening day of the season for them. And look at that. West Ham 3, Bournemouth 1. That's 4 successive wins now for West Ham. Pyatt with the equaliser. And then 2 goals for Enner Valencia for West Ham after Harry Arter had opened the scoring for Bournemouth. Let's have a quick look then at the Barclays Premier League table. And it makes happy reading, actually, for the Hammers fans. Look at that, up to 5th now, ahead of Manchester United, just a point above United. Rio Ferdinand to my left shakes his head as he looks at Manchester United sitting 6th in the Premier League table. And at the bottom, a glint of hope perhaps for Aston Villa. As I say, just their 2nd win of the season, 11 points for them. Newcastle United, though, drawing this one, they're now just a point behind Swansea, 18 points on the board for them.